Alright guys, I'm going to try my best to help you out with this project. This is all stuff that we've done before. I think you guys are just overthinking it, overcomplicating it, okay? Very first part of this question number 1 says, you're going to take this equation here, figure out what's the m and what's the b, okay? I'm going to give you an example. So, if we have an equation, y equals, let's say 4x minus 2, okay? It's asking you what's m and what's b. We've been talking about this for weeks now, okay? This right here is slope-intercept form. So we know y equals mx plus b, right? All we're doing right here is pulling those two things out of the equation, okay? So the m in this case is 4. Okay, you could also say 4 over 1, that's fine. And the b in this case is negative 2, okay? So you just write it down. It's just asking you, what's your slope? What's your y-intercept, okay? So you just take those two things out of the equation. All right, the next thing that they're asking you to do is to solve this equation here for certain things, okay? They're saying solve it if x is 2. So if x was 2, we just plug it in and we solve. Or solve this equation if x is 10, or y is 10, then we plug this in for y. So I'm gonna do an example right here with these two things, okay? So in that box there, they give you an ordered pair, right? And they say find y if x is, I'm gonna go with 3. I'm gonna go 3. So solve for y, find y if x is 3, okay? So they're already telling me part of my ordered pair is 3, right? If x was 3, what is y? We're trying to figure that out. What is y? So we just take that 3 and plug it into the equation and solve, okay? Similar to what you're about to do in that question there. So rewrite it. Y equals 4 times 3 minus 2, and I solve that. Y will equal 12 minus 2. 12 minus 2 is 10. And I put my answer right here for y because that's what I was looking for. Y is 12 minus 2, which is 10. So you solved part of it. You got a point that's on this line, that's creating this line. Well, we need a second point to make the line. So then they say find x, okay, find x if y is, now obviously this is a different question, but they're saying find x if y is 10, so that needs to be plugged in over here for 10 and rewritten as if y is 10. So I'm gonna say find x if y is, let's see here, I'll go with 8 if y is 8. So what I'm gonna do, I think this is gonna work. Actually, hold on a second. Let's go with, sorry guys, give me a second here. I'll do 10. I think 10 will work, okay. Okay, find x if y is 10. So I'm gonna take that 10 and plug it into my equation for y. So this will now say, instead of y equals, 10 equals 4x minus 2. Okay, now what I'm looking for in my ordered pair is x, but they've given me 10 for y, so I just need to know what is x. So I solve this. This is a two-step equation, guys. We've done this, okay? We've done this. So solving for x by using inverse operations, okay? We start with adding and subtracting before multiplying and dividing. So in this case, I'm going to add 2 and add 2. That gets me to 12 equals, this goes away, 4x. Now I solve. Undo this multiplication by dividing by 4. Okay, when I do that, x equals 3. So now I've got 2 points. They just happen to be the same. On yours, they will be totally different. So 310, 310. Yeah, I changed that right. Hold on a second, I'm gonna make sure. Yeah, okay, now what you would do from here is you will go to your graph and plot the 2 points that you get. Now, obviously, somehow I just happen to get the same points here, but yours will be totally different. So let's say it was like 310 and, I don't know, 510. You would go to your graph, okay, find the points, maybe 310 and 510, and connect them, okay? But I don't want to see it just like this. It says in your instructions to go across the entire graph, okay? So draw that line across the whole entire graph. All right, next question seems to be a little bit challenging for you guys as well. Just so you know, there's negatives here, okay, here, and I think the question below are, a lot of the questions on the right side are negative, the questions on the left side are positive, okay? So the next question has a fraction. We're struggling with that. But if we're talking slope and y-intercept, what's the m, what's the b, then just write that y equals mx plus b, and then just pull out the slope and the y-intercept and write them right here, okay? And then you plug it in, okay? I'm gonna do this specific one for you, and then I'll have you do this one over here by yourself, okay? Again, the sub has, or should have, the answer key for you guys. So if you need to be checking your answers, you can just say, hey, can you help me out here, and ask her if your answer is right or wrong, okay? So I'm gonna solve this one right here. Y equals 2/3 x minus 3. Find y if x is 9. This one does involve a little bit more work, okay? So I'm gonna write it down here. Y equals 2/3 x minus 3. We're gonna find y if x is 9, okay? So we're solving this equation as if x is 9. You need to remember that this 2/3 is being multiplied by x, so we need to plug this in and multiply, okay? Y equals 2/3 x minus 3. And now, sorry, I should have done 2/3 times 9 minus 3. Ignore this part for a second. We've got to start with our multiplication, okay? How do you multiply 2/3 or a fraction by 9, a whole number? You should know that you need to put it over 1, okay? So now I just multiply straight across. 2 times 9 is 18. And then 3 times 1 is 3. Don't forget this minus 3. A lot of you are going to forget it. Bring it down. Okay, minus 3. So y is going to be equal to 18 over 3 minus 3. Okay, well, 18 over 3 can be simplified. Okay, 18 over 3 is the same as 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So y equals 6 minus 3. So final answer here, y equals 3. Then you've got the ordered pair that they're showing you. Your answer for y goes in place of y in this ordered pair. So they gave you 9 for x. You just solved that y is 3, so you've got a point. Now you go and solve this one, but you need to make sure to plug in -11 for y instead of for x. Then it's a two-step equation, just like we did in the example for this one here, okay? So try to figure that one out. You guys can be sending me pictures of your work and asking me where you're going wrong. That's fine. I should have plenty of time to be able to look at all that stuff today. So please just send it my way, okay? I'm gonna go over one more question that you guys are all struggling with. These y equals and x equals. They're not as complicated as they seem, okay? I wanna flip to the notes where you did this. So let me find those really quick. Okay, so I have them, but they're not completed. But right here in 4.1 for standard, 5.1 for honors, we had these questions right here, graphing horizontal lines and graphing vertical lines. Okay, what I told you to do here was, you can't see the equation very well, but it's y equals -3. So similar to the ones that you're seeing on the project, y equals -3. It is telling you that this is a line where every single point on the line has a y value of -3. So what I've explained is, think about your ordered pairs, x and y. They're telling you that y is always -3. So you've got some number and -3, always. You could have a million points on this line, okay? It's always going to be -3. So what I've said is just choose whatever you want to here for x, okay? And then you'll solve it. So maybe you choose 0, maybe you choose -2, maybe you choose 5. It doesn't matter what you choose for x, y is always -3. So in this case, if you wanted to graph this, okay, you'd get your points, come over here to 0, -3, or -2, -3, or 5, -3. And what you see is a horizontal line, excuse my hand, okay, a much straighter line than that, use a ruler. Okay, a horizontal line at -3 along the y-axis. So we find the -3 on the y-axis, and we've got a horizontal line here because every single point that makes up this line has a y of -3, right? So look at the question on your project. It says find y if x is 5. It's asking you to find y. What is this telling you? Y equals 16. There is no place for you to plug in for x in this equation like you did up here in the previous questions. There's no x here, so we can't just plug it in. Whatever we tried to plug in for x, it doesn't matter because y is always 16. So right here, y is 16. Okay, the next one says find y if x is -10. Does not matter what we're plugging in for x because y is 16. It's telling you the answer. Now where you're struggling here is the slope and the y-intercept. You're going to have to take these 2 points, 5, 16 and -10, 16, and graph them. Okay, so I'm gonna show you on the example that I have right here on the paper. When I go to graph this, I want to know what's m and what's b. M represents the slope, right? If I tried to find the slope between these 2 points, my rise is 0, right? There is no up or down movement between them, so 0. My run between these 2 is 2, or between these 2 is like 5, okay, 2, 5. This case doesn't really matter which one we choose because 0 over anything is 0, okay? A horizontal line will always have a slope of 0. So if your line looks like this, your slope is 0, okay? It's similar because we've got y equals a certain number. So once you go graph these 2 things, you're probably going to find a slope of 0, okay? The second thing it's asking you for is the b, which represents y-intercept. Where is our line crossing our y-axis? For me, on this specific line, it's crossing the y-axis at -3. So my y-intercept is -3, okay? For you guys, okay, you're gonna go graph those 2 points and see where it crosses the y-axis. Wherever it does, right here is your answer, okay? So try that. The next thing is where you've got, x equals different kind of equation. So let me show you that here. Okay, this equation here says x equals 2. X equals 2. And what you're going to do is solve this, okay? This is just like what I did over here, okay? They're already telling you that this is a line where every single x value is 2 in all the ordered pairs. So you could create some ordered pairs and show me that x, the first one, is always 2. Always. You could create 10 points. It doesn't have to be 2 or just 3. It could be a lot of points. But then you can choose whatever you want to for y. So maybe it's 4. Maybe it's, -1, or maybe it's, I don't know, 2, same number. So we graph it, okay? 2, 4, 2, -1, 2, 2. And what you see here is a vertical line, and that's what this question says, graphing vertical lines. X equals 2 will always be a vertical line at 2 on the x-axis, okay? But then this one, if you were asked what's the slope and what's the y-intercept, okay, we learned this in the next section in 4.2 or 5.2, depending on which class you're in. A vertical line, its slope is always undefined. Okay, the slope is undefined. it's going to be something over 0, right? The rise here between these 2 points is 2, but the run is 0, and anything with a denominator of 0 is undefined, okay? But then we need the y-intercept. That's where does this line cross the y-axis? Well, in this case, this line never crosses the y-axis, so for the y-intercept, there is none. None. No y-intercept. Not at all. Okay? So similar idea here. Okay, they're asking you to find x if y is 2. Well, like up here, there is no y in this equation for me to solve. Okay, I can't plug it in. But it's telling you x is 11. Find x equals 11. It's already found for you. They've already done it. So down here in your ordered pair, it's going to say 11, 2. Okay? Right here, find x if y is -3. Well, we can't plug -3 in for y because there is no y in this equation. So find x is 11. Okay, it's telling you what it is. So plug it in here, then go plot these 2 points. So 11, 2, and 11, -3. See what that line looks like, and then find the slope, find the y-intercept, okay? And that's all you're doing for all of this stuff, guys. So if you have questions, please email me. Okay, when you're done graphing, you see that there are 9 total questions. There should only be 9 lines on your graph, okay? Only 9. So if you go to graph it and you've got more than 9 lines, you've done something wrong, okay? Please email me if you've got questions. Work hard on this today, okay? Try to get it done. You're gonna have a little bit of time tomorrow to try to finish it as well. But please work hard, okay? Don't stress so much about this. It's gonna be fine. We'll talk when I come back, okay?